Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are well and healthy. So today is a second guest lecture to promote the industrial academic collaboration for the development of more constructive ideas. Shape My Skill has taken a step forward by the means of Industrial Conclave 1.0. The Industrial Conclave 1.0 will be for 15 days, and today is second day. Where every day at 4 p.m. an industry expert will be giving webinar on new technologies daily. So I would like to introduce Mr. Ray Sharma, who is a full stack developer in JP Morgan and the vast experience in full stack and web designing UI UX. So Ray sir, over to you.
Hello, everybody. Live. So, just a moment. Okay. So, basically, we are going to have a full stack. Everybody is welcome here, and we would like to start the introduction of myself. So, my name is Lalit Sharma, and today we are going to have full stack, a sort of live streaming as of now. So, we'll start with HTML, CSS, sorry, not CSS, I mean CSS, that is a part of this. So let me move a few things. And then we'll be coming to React and the API part, that is going to be our backend. So technically speaking, backend, front end, and the HTML, just to lay out everything. So I could see somebody is going to ask anything, would like to ask. Please go ahead asking the doubts, anything in the stream only. So yeah, so let's start with HTML. So I'm going to use editor named VS Code. And for creating backend, actually, we need to create and run some command. So that would be like Node.js is to be installed on your system, so you can use it. And I would create a project in between because it would take some time. So it would create a project for us that would be like Shape My Skills. It's going to be basically an e-commerce website throughout this session we'll be creating. So it would take some time till the time we can create our HTML, adding to VS Code. So you can see it. So we can close it by creating a file that is one.html. So basically, what is HTML? HTML is a collection of various elements we could see on any website. So let's say, let me open a few of the panels. So you can see it properly. So this is going to be the output, and this is going to be the code. So let's say it uses basically tags like h1 tag. This is like heading 1. I think you most of you are already aware about what are headings. So it basically uses tags. So as you can see, depending upon the formatting and the rules, it would display you a sort of text. If we would go and create a new file, let's say foo.html, where we would write a paragraph. There are 3 paragraphs I would create, 4 let's say. And if I would open foo.html, you can see the paragraph are there. If I would wrap it a little bit, so you can see the justification or the alignment, we would call it, it's on the left side. But there are sort of attributes we can provide, like let's say alignment left, alignment right, alignment center. So as you can see, these are like changing center and to the right. And we would have a default alignment that is by default left. So coming to another tag, that is, let's say div. This is a div tag. Lots of div tag actually, and lots of paragraph tag also, and lots of block code tag as well. So this is a block code tag. So as you can see, in 3.html, we are having too much variance while writing div tag, paragraph tag, and a block code tag, right? So this div tag, which is basically no spacing, only going to come in the next line. There is a paragraph also that is also coming in the next line, but somehow it is having various gapping around it, which we would call like a margin. So margin is like a outside spacing of any tag. And block code is also like aligned little bit indented from the left side. So it is also coming in the next line, and along with it, it's having some indentation from the left side. So we could create some interesting tag also, like marquee tag, like this is a moving tag, right? And once we are going to open it, you can see this is a moving tag. And this is all to be understood by the browser itself. If you want to create some extra attributes, let's say scroll amount, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So there would be a variance in the speed. As you can see, the speed is varying somehow. Right? So that is also good. We could also take care of the direction. So direction is like where it's going to go, not from where it's going to come. So as you can see, this is from left and right side. Right? Now we would create another file, 5.html, where we would have a header tag, like this is our top navigation. Nav, I should say, this is your menu areas, and menu, which is going to be a menu, some drop down, and options as of now. So as you see, it is having some gapping in the drop down, but if we talk about the navigation, that is your header and the navigation area, it is same. But why we are using it? Because Google nowadays try to understand the website, like what is the content by the schema, like which is the informational area, which is a schematic area, which is the summary, which is the section, which is the article, and would make the search engine optimization or the accessibility, we would call it, for various users. So they would search for the results, whether it's a programmatical search or an e-commerce product or a course might be, or might be some Wikipedia sort of information that would contain a little bit of definitions, their nested implementation, and some references from where they are going to be interrelated. So that is something is to be created from these kind of schematic tag. So let's say this is a section. We could create lots of sections. I mean, that is absolutely not a problem. So as you can see, section is also similar to navigation and header type. And if we go for article, article is also a type. This article, and we could create. I wrote the plural version since this is a tag. So it is also much similar to section and div also. We have a footer. Let's say this is a footer tag. So this is a footer tag, which is also not much different from these tags. But the thing is that why we are writing all this just for the accessibility purpose. If we go for 6.html, we could have created a font, right? So this is a font. We could write family, let's say Arial, Verdana, Coral, Comic, Sans, MS. So if you see the output of this, they should vary. But why they are not varying? We need to make the face actually, not the family. So as you can see, some variation is there. If I would write impact, so you can see impact is having different font on it. And if we go for Calibri also, this is like a separate font. Though we could give a color for all these, let's say red, green, blue, silver, cyan, and pink. So this would vary. So I did basically refresh. So not a problem. I think so that could be good for everybody. Now let's say I'm on it. Let's create 7.html. Let's have a table. For table, we would have t head, a table row, a th, which is like ID, name, email, phone, password, and some actions. So we could create table body with table row, table data, that is one, name is let's say Lalit, email is lalit@gmail.com. So that is not actual email ID, phone number, any phone number, and password is Lalit, let's say. Actions is like edit and delete. So as you can see, we are having a table as of now. By writing this very less code, we can create another row, let's say 2, that is Amit. And we could also create 3, that is like Sumit. And would write edit. But you see, there is an edit delete functionality, but it is not having the options of edit delete. So what we could create is basically we can create a button. We have a button tag also like edit and delete. So as you can see, we are having edit delete button. And if you want to make a border of this, you can make a border by writing border property. You can make alignment also. Center, left, right. By default, it's left. Right. We would have cell padding also. That is like the inside space of cell. And we can also grow the space outside by using cell spacing. Any number would be okay. Even though in border, if you would provide like 10, it would be a little bit thick border. If you provide more border, obviously it's not that good. It should be a groove border. So as you can see, some shadow thing is there or some sort of embossing is provided by the border. So it's not a good idea to keep that much border. We generally use 1 or 2 border. So that would make the outline of every cell and it would be good. And if you want to make background color, you can also have BG color. Let's say I would write yellow. So it could be yellow. If you want to make the very first line BG color, you can also write, let's say it's going to be silver. It's going to be silver. If you want to make second line border, you can write BG color. Let's say cyan. So if you want to write third line with the BG color, it would be a different color. Let's say pink might be. And the third one, let's say I want to write orange. So BG color orange. So if you want to make a particular cell color, that is also possible. BG color, let's say you want to give red. This is red. So this can be available. If you go to _HTML, we have audio, video also, we have images also. So you can write images, but you would see no image as of now. So till the time if you want to make sure that image is not available, you can write like some image of product. So it would be an image missing icon, but you can write width, height also. So let's say you want to make width 100 or 200 might be, that we also good. And we have a folder that has all the images. So as you can see, one image is there, second image is there, third, fourth. There are 50 images actually. So if I would open this, by collapsing all this, I could write that what is the source of this image. From images, you can see I'm getting a hint. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm having 50 images. So these are tags which are inline. They would be placed within a single line. And obviously, if you would write 8, 9, 10, so you can have 10 images also. So let's create a big collection of images that are 50 images. So let's say image src of img a123.jpg, and all of these would have a width of 100, and this is like 50 images. So as you can see, all of the images are there. There are 50 images. By some shortcut you can see. Obviously, if you would write like an image which is not present, it won't show you an image. So as of now, every image is there. Let me write it properly so you can see it properly. So this is, I think, good. And we could write this image also to be next line, so you can see it properly. This image is not good, so let's write wherever this G is there. Oh, sorry. This I am actually. So now these all images are also present. And the same thing it would show us. I think some IG is problematic. So let's write one IMG. So that is going to be the images. Obviously, you can write width and height also, but that would be shrinking the image. So let's say if I would write height of 100, so it won't be that much good because they would be a little bit stretched. And so that's the reason why we never give height to image, because we never know the image, the ratio is good or bad. So we would like to be taken care of this thing by the browser only, not by anyone else. So let's create 10.html. So after doing all this, right, we can create some part of CSS. So you can understand like what is CSS, how to use CSS, and everything else. It would be good. Right, so let's say the CSS. What is CSS? CSS can do anything. Let's say you are writing a span tag. This span. So I create most of span tag, and span tag is nothing. I mean, it's not having any design. It's an inline tag basically. So now you can see all of the span are there. If you want to design, there is a special tag name style, where you can write span, that is your tag name, and you could write the color and the value, and it would be good. So that is a font tag. Font weight bold, If you write, it would be a bold tag. If you write text decoration, line through, it would be a deleted tag. If you write underline, it would be a underline tag. If you write overline, it would be a different one. If you write none, it would be a normal tag. And you can write like a font style also, italic. So it would be little bit tilted towards right side. Right. And there is also interesting tag. Let's say I would write a tag. It says welcome to this live webinar streaming on YouTube. So this is something I would like to preserve whatever it's written. Right. So this is the space I want to preserve. So if I would go to 11, you can see this is coming in one line. And that is something I don't want. I want whatever the format I'm writing in here, it should be preserved. That is basically a pre tag, but we can use the design of pre tag, that is white space pre, and it would preserve whatever we have written so far. So it would preserve the white spaces and it would be no problem at all. Right. So that is also good. You could go to 12.html. Now let's say if you want to design something, obviously you would have your entire website, multiple things ongoing. So let me create a website by which you can understand the things. But first of all, let me introduce you with external CSS and the icons library. So this is Font Awesome, which I have downloaded. So you can write link CSS, fontawesome.css, and you can use I. That is your class. You can write FAFA home. Right. So you would get a home icon. Right. But this is very small icon. So if you want to increase, you can write FA5x. This is the maximum size. We have home, we have I, right. We have photos. Right. We have pencil. Right. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and we have Snapchat as well. I think. I mean, we could use Bell because both of the icons are almost same. And we can write like HTML5 also. We could write CSS3. That is also an icon. We have a heart. We have diamond. Sorry, not diamond. We have bold. I'm sure it should be there. Right. We have Wi-Fi. Battery half. I think battery half should be available. No worries. Some of the icons are missing. They might be in the newer version. So not a problem. We could have trash. Right. Trash open. We have envelope. That is envelope. Right. We have phone. We have map, marker as well. Maker, it's marker. Right. So this is the location icon. We could have a cog as well. We have range for the settings if you want to create this one, and just let me write it. And we could have bars also. So bars is like the icon for hamburger icon. You mostly you have been aware about this thing. Most of the website are displaying their menu using this one. So we have bars, we have user icon as well. Right, we have users icon as well. We have lock icon. Right, we have key icon. Right, we have there are many actually. We can use sort also, as you can see. Sort up, I'm not sure if it is there or not, but it would be available. Sort down also. Right. We have search icon as well. As you can see, everything is available. Whatever you can think of, it's available. But there is another class you can write. I mean, you need to write class only. So there is FA spin. if you would write it, they would be all spinning. These are some of the classes that would give you a facility to work with the animations. Obviously, you could create by your side also using some strategies, but that is available by default. Now that is something, and we would be using these icons. We have shopping cart also, shopping cart. So that is a cart icon for adding into the cart. Because we would be creating a e-commerce site. But on before that, we would be creating a website. So let's say we have a website that would have a header, a nav, a section, class about, theme, services, newsletter, skills. Right, we would have contact also. We will make it about team, about contact team, services, newsletters, skills, and we would write pricing. We would have a footer as well, the crafted for demo purpose. Right, so this is what we are going to create as of now. So we would see 13.html is very simple. So let me write header with two sections. Let's say a phone, that is going to be a phone icon, FFA phone. A second section which is going to be an email, that is info@�shapeMySkills. Let me use any email icon. I need to use an icon on left. So as you can see, the icons are not coming because we are not linking the CSS. And we need to create one CSS, that is 13.css. In the same folder, we'll write it. So whatever design we would be writing, it's going to go in the 13.css file. So now you can see the icons are there. And let's say for this navigation, I would like to create a div that would hold three sections. One section is going to be anchor, that is like register, and the first section would be a FFA parse. A few sections we would like to write on contact, about, services, newsletter, like skills, pricing, and I think that would be good. So as you can see, we are having the HTML of this. In about section, we would like to call H1, that is about us, a paragraph that would have some sort of description, and a button that would say read more. We would have a contact section. As you can see, the design is not good, but we would be writing it in a moment. So contact us, paragraph of Lorem Ipsum, and let's say I would like to write our experts would contact you soon. And we would like to have some few input that would say, like you can write name, email, phone, and message, and a button of send icon that says send message. So as you can see, we are having contact also. Now for team, we'll be having meet the team. So Pascal case, we would write, we are having corporate exposure of over 20 plus years. And then we would like to create some div which would say, let's say flex, a div class item, which would say, let's say image class of 100 by 100, and the name of person like employee, H4, let's say the designation, H5 like which technology, right, and a button of hire now. So as of now, it would be like this, and we could write envelope icon. So that would make it a little bit good. So as you can see, we are getting this higher now button, which is as of now nothing. So we would like to put 2, 3, 4 items. So there are 4 items as of now. Now we would like to go to services. Services like H1R services. There we would like we provide all kind of IT related services, and we would like to create a flex again that would hold many items. So it would be containing an icon. I'm not sure what icon name. We'll keep it as of now. So H3 service 1, a paragraph, some description of service, and then a button of quick view. For quick view, we would like to add a eye icon. And this is like 12 services. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 services as of now, as you can see. And we would like to create the icons now. So let us start from the icons we created in 12. So we have home, eye, photo, pencil. So let us copy first 12. So it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think they would be good. So once I'm done copying all this, I need to go to icons, all the icons, that are 12 icons, and they are ready. As you can see, they should be big also. So 5x. And now we are having all the icons, as you can see. On before bell, it's missing. So we need to search for bell. Oh, it's Pinterest. Obviously, that's why it is missing. As you can see, we are having all the icons. Right? Now coming to newsletter, it would be like H1 newsletter. So paragraph, subscribe to our monthly newsletter or get in touch with our WhatsApp to get recent updates on technology, collaboration, and walking drives. So, yeah. So I think it's good. Now we could write an input that would hold another placeholder like your email address and a button of subscribe. Right. So subscribe would be a bell icon, obviously. So it would be a bell icon. So I is nothing. I is italic tag. FA is nothing. It's font awesome. So font awesome is to be written in font awesome bell. I mean, this is how we need to write. So as we can see, we are having newsletter also. That is having this subscribe button. Now we could write skills. So skills, let's say our skills, we should call it like our technology. So we would have like all the technologies. So H3, HTML5, CSS3, like JavaScript, Node.js, Express.js, Java, Python, Django, and we have Flask, machine learning. I mean, there are many. I cannot write all of them. Machine learning. Right. So we need to create a progress bar also for all these. So it should look like a little bit. So I would create a class name white and black with a style, a width of 90%. So it should look a little bit different. So 90%, 80%, 85%, let's say 70%, maybe 55%. So just random number, obviously it's 100%. just only. Right, so let's say 90 and 80, 75 and 65. I'm not sure also 100%. So we are done with this also. As of now, this is nothing. We would be writing it. In a moment, we would be designing it. So for price, let's say H1, that is pricing. So paragraph, pricing plans, I would call it. And it would have the offer, best in market, reasonable pricing. So we would like to add another flex that would hold three type of pricing, which is like header, body, and footer. So we would like to create it as of now. Let's say a basic pricing that would have a button of get offer. So it would say like paragraph, unlimited seats, unlimited learning material, paragraph, let's say unlimited video access, let's say knowledge, KT sessions, I would say doubt sessions, and let's say collaborative and viable. So let's say this is going to be the same feature for all of them. That's not, but still we're just creating inside 2, 3. So basic, pro, and premium. But we are missing with something where they all show price. So we would like to add something here, not the price, but let's say a month. So let's say this is collaborative environment. There we would like to add one big tag, which is like lowercase. That's not going to make any difference. Let's say this is July month. So this is what we are going to create as of now. So we're done creating almost everything. Now let's design it because that is a required thing. So let us start the design with body. So body margin would be 0. There would be no gapping. Font family would be Times New Roman, but that is available only with 𝐿-Sans. That is, I think, also good. So it's a little bit professional. So now coming to the header, we would have a background of hash F1 F1 and a padding of 10 pixels. So as you can see, this is having a nice color, silver, and it would be display flux. So all 2 lines would be in 1 line, and that would be like justify content, space around. That is also good. As you can see, you could write between also. That would be also good to write. Now let's say we are on header. Now we are on nav. So let's make the background black, color of white, and display of flex as well. Justify content, space around, and padding of 10 pixels. So this is also good, but we need to make sure that all the input button and anchor would have a padding of 10 pixels, a border of 0, a text decoration of none, outline would be 0. And now in this nav, any link would be colored white. So this is good. Now the last link that we want to select is like the last child would be having a padding of 10 and 40 pixel and a background of tomato. So that is just something to focus. So as you can see, this is good. And we would like to have the padding of nav, and we could write, I mean, not the last child, that is the last child, and having the A. So we were having 3 till. Now this is also good. Now coming to the about part, which is class about. So how we write classes? By writing down. Make sure padding of 5%, background of hash F2, any color, I mean what they all are silver color. And we would like to have the button in about, that would be background black and a color of white. That is also good. Coming to contact, so contact would be padding of 5% again, background of black, color of white, and you can see this is also ready. Now the button inside contact we would like to focus, which would have a background of tomato, and a color of white, which is already present. So this is also good. Now we could go to team section. For team section, we would like to have a background of gray. Now this would have a background of gray, as you can see, but a padding of 5%. So that is what we are following from the very beginning. It would have a text line of center, so everything would be in center. Now coming to the team flex, which is holding up 4 items. Display flex, 4 items, and these items would have some gapping. So width of 21%, a padding of 1%, margin of 1%, and this is white. Would like to have a background white, right, and a box shadow, that is x-axis, y-axis, distance, and the color, and it's good. Now these items are having the button and a class name image. So padding of 25%, background of black, and a color of white. So this is also ready. Coming to the button, inside this item we have a button also. That button would be background black, color of white. So that is also done. Now coming to the width would be 100%, and it would look little bit nice. Now coming to services would be padding 5%, background of silver, and this is like little bit dark color we could use. So something different from the above. A text line, center, color of white, and these services, which is going to have the flex, would be display flex flow wrap, and this is what we have. Every item in this flex would be 21%, padding of 1%, margin of 1%, and background of white is there. And color obviously going to be black. This is also good. Little bit border radius if you want to add, let's say 20 pixel would be fine. And we would like to have the button inside it to be black. So that is something, but it should also match with the border radius. So we would create a border radius that should be rounded, but a padding would be 10 pixel, 40 pixel. So this is also good. Now coming to the newsletter, which is going to be newsletter, padding of 5% and a background of black, color of white. Same thing is happening here. This is also, but the color is tomato. So button would be background tomato, and the color is already white. So we would write white. So this is also good. Now coming to technology, that is like skills, which would have a padding of 5% and a background of #333, which is a darkest color. And we would like to have the color of these to be white. So everything is white. Now coming to the H3 tag, which is inside skills. So H3 would have first of all letter spacing, of 10 pixels. So they would be little bit good. Font weight normal, so it should not be bold. Now coming to the white class, which would be background white, right, and a line height of 30 pixels. So that is also good. Color of black obviously, because white cannot show white. So this white would hold a black class, which is background black and color white. So this color black is not required, and we would like to make text line center. So as of now, this is good. Coming to the pricing. So pricing is also padding 5% and text line center. So this is pricing, but a background is also required, so we'll keep gray. But it's not much good. So in price also we have flex, that is like display flex, justify content not required, and these three items, which is width of 33.3%, right, and a background of white, a box shadow, x-axis, y-axis, distance, and the color. So margin is required, so we keep 3% and make the margin 1.5%. So from both of the end, it would be 3. Right, so we can call now the header part of this item, which is going to be a padding of 5%, a background of black, and a color of white. Font size little bit increasing, so double the size, and this is having body also. So body would be like padding of 1%, background of silver, let's say. This is also good, and we would like to increase the line height, that is 30 or 40 pixels, so it should be good, right? And we can also keep it white and not required. So the footer section for sure, but it has a big tag also, so it would be font weight bold and font size of 200%. Font family of impact, so it would be like little bit bold. I can see this is little bit good and different also. So we would like to add the footer part, which is F, padding of 5%, background of silver, let's say, and it's good. Now we need to add the button. So button, which is going to be background black, color of white. This is also good. Now let's say I'm done installing the things, and let's make so it would be like shape my space, and I would do npm install xuse, but that is required in this project. So it could take some time. Till the time we could do whatever is required. So as of now, let's say this is good, and we are on footer only. So footer is a tag, which is padding of 10 pixel, background of black, color of white, and a text line of center, which is good. So this entire thing is like done, and we would like to create a highlighted version on the top. So like that is going to be background tomato, if you would like to call, and color is to be white. So it should be like a little bit different, or we could call some other interactive color, let's say orange, which is also available as of now, so you can see. But since we are scrolling, this menu is not good, right? So we need to make sure that it should be sticky. So in position, we could write sticky, and top would be 0, and it would get sticky the moment I would scroll. So all of you can understand, like this is good. Right, so this is to be created. But now let's say if we talk about this responsiveness on the mobile is not mobile friendly, right? So how we would create it mobile friendly, because currently it's not mobile friendly. So we would write media query, that is maximum width 768 pixel. It would be like, first of all, the menu, that is your nav. It would be nav flex flow column, and it's good, as you can see. And this nav would have a padding of 20 pixel. I should be a little bit good also, right? But the menus are not good. So nav would have the div, the justify content, justifies align self would be like center. So they would be like aligned and good. And the div which are having a would be display block. So that would be also good. And text align obviously for this would be center. So now this is somehow good. But we will not make it block because it would be problematic to see. So as of now, let's make all the div to have a padding of 20 pixel. So I mean itself to show it properly. Right? So about is good, contact is not good. So let's make contact. Input would be 100% and a margin bottom of 10 pixel. So it should be looking a little bit good. Coming to team is also not good. So team class having flex would be also flex flow column, and all the width of the item of this flex would be auto. So we don't know what was the padding and margin. Now it's also good. Coming to services, same thing for services. And same thing for services item. And that is also not good. Why? Because services flex off. We wrote it properly. We need to write it properly only. But you see there is gapping in between. So we should make sure that width is auto. And the input width is 100%. So margin is like auto first of all. Padding is also auto. Now it should be good. Now we are on this panel. We could go on. I mean, most of the things are good. Pricing is also problematic. So price flex would be also same. So that would go for price also. So by comma we could write it and it would be fine. So this is our website which is responsive on mobile as well, tablet as well, and on the desktop also. Now let us create the layout for our e-commerce website. So if somebody would like to ask a question, might ask. Okay, no worries. Let's go ahead and creating the file. Just a moment. Let me see if I'm receiving any doubts. Nothing. Just a second. I'll be getting back in a moment. So I'm back as of now. Now we would be creating an e-commerce site For that, we need to create the designs like index.html, a login.html, a signup.html, a profile.html, a cart.html, and or sign up spelling, I think it's wrong. So it would be, sorry, sign up. Now we would create orders.html and one more file which is checkout.html. So I think these are the files we need to create. So let us start from the very beginning. That is our home page, which is index. So first of all, we need to link CSS, and for all these there would be only one file, that is style.css. So let us link first of all CSS font awesome, and let us link style.css. So we'll create from a div which is like header, which is like a div, 3-time div. So one button is like logout, and there would be h1 e-commerce, and that would be like lots of link like home. So on home it would be like index.html. For login it would be login.html. For sign up it would be signup.html. For cart it would be cart. For orders it would be orders. For checkout it would be checkout. So cart and orders we need to show how many orders we have. Let's say 10 cart, 10 orders, right? And logout, let's say shape my skills. So index, login, sign up, cart, orders, I think, and the profile. So here my profile. Right, so any name. So this is what is going to be the menu. So let's open the index.html. So this is what the menu is. We would create two sections in main, which is going to be a left side, a right side. And in left side, we would have lots of paragraph, lots of category, let's say men, women, kids, shoes, sports wear, other, likewise, whatever is going to be in here. So as of now, this is what on the right side we would have the filters like button that would sort to the sorting icon of ID, old, new price, a rating, a discount, and we would like to search also. So a placeholder of search we would like to create. Now coming to the products area, which is going to be all the products. In here the image that is width 100 as of now, and the image, one image, that is first image, and we would have a div that is title, description, let's say old price, some new price, some rating, some discount, some tags, some active cart option. So as of now, this is good, but we need to make sure that this discount is like 10% off. Likewise, right? So class, I would create discount because I want to make it design. This would be a tags class. This would be a cart button class, which is going to be an icon that we just use shopping cart. And the rating would be 5-star. So that is also what I. So as you can see, everything is set up. Now we would go to the footer area, that is like crafted for demo purpose. And that's an icon of FA heart. So this is our icon. So you can see we're having everything. Now let's say I want to design this page. So we'll make sure the body would be margin 0, a font family of 𝐕_SANS, right, a background of slate blue, and it's ready, as you can see. So we would take care of each and everything, everywhere, every page. So we would design it in here. Like padding 10 pixel, border is 0, text decoration is none, outline is 0, and box sizing is border box. So everything is ready as of now. Now coming to the header, which would be a background black, color of white, and this would be the menu. The moment we would write display flex, as you can see, it's in one line. The moment I write align item center, it's in the center. We wrote justify content, space around, it would be gapping in between, and it's ready. So let's say the icons, the menu, which would have the would be color of silver, and the moment we would do any hover, it would be color white. So just sort of bootstrap menu, just setting up in here. As you can see, everything is good, a little bit highlighted. So button is not good. So on header, we have a button that would have a background of tomato, let's say a color of white, and a border radius of 100 pixel, and a border and a padding of 1040 pixel. So that is also good. So our header is ready. Let's go to the footer, but this header should be fixed. Line height of 10 viewport height. So it's going to be. So this is what we are having, and H1 tag inside it is having too much margin. So let's make the margin 0. So it should look a little bit nice. Now coming to the footer, a line height of 10, a background of black, a color of white, text align of center. And main is going to have a height of 80%, and any overflow would be auto. So this is like now constant. We'll make it display flex. So left and right are in the same line. We go to main left, which is left side 20%. That is also good. Now coming to the paragraph, which is going to be padding 10 pixel, margin 10 pixel, a background of black, color of white, a border radius of 100 pixel. So this is good, but it has span tag also. So span tag, I would make it float right, so it should float on the right side. And the moment I would have an active class on it, it would be background white and color black. So that is also good. Now coming to the right side of main, because left side is done, right side width is 80%. Right. And we would have the filters. So filters would be display flex, and justify content would be center. So this is good. Little bit padding of 5 pixel we could write. And the button, if they are flipped, they would have active class, that is background black, and a color of white. So this is also good. Not as of now, but right side is also having products, so it would have a height of 70 viewport height. And let's make it background silver so we could see it properly. So this is the area. I think we could increase by 2. 3 also I think would be 4. I think 4 would be good. Right, so this is good. Now we can remove the color because we don't want the color, but it would be overflow auto. So that is also good. Now coming to the products item, it would be display inline table. A width of 15%, a background of white, a color of black, a padding of 1%, margin of 1%, a position of relative, and it would have a box shadow that would make it little bit nice. So it is good. Now coming to the various things, like item is having the image. So image size we never knew. we are never aware of the size of image, and we would have the tags class, which is position absolute, top 0, left 0, padding of 10 pixel, a background of black, and a color of white. So this is also placed properly. The same thing we need to do with discount and add to cart. So let's make first of all discount. Top is 50%, right is 0. The background is yellow, and it would be translate by minus 50% to make it extreme center. Now the cart button, the class name is cart button. So it would be bottom 0 and right 0. So it would be good also. Now we are done creating this design. We need to integrate it in the React part. So go to React and see if it is good. So I would try to do npm start. On before that, I would put all of these things in my front end. That is, sorry, I think I created it in backend. So I mean, somehow problematic. So let me write it to an index.html. I would like to create, not in here. So obviously in VS Code. So I would have div id root here. That would say loading, and it would have CSS 1000. That's it. Nothing else. So even though these files are not even required, you can delete them. And if we go to src, there are many files. Let's create only 3 files. One is the index.js, and one is your style.css, and one is the app.js. So we're done creating all the files. And this is where we are going to create it. Right, so let us write nvm use version 14 17.1, and let's do npm start. And this is good. Now we can see there is another terminal also, and we can close it. So let us not write in here. Let's open this. So in a separate tab, you can see it's only loading. So if I would add this folder, I mean index.js, I need to write import react from react, import react DOM from react minus DOM, and import app from the app file. And we would have import style also. And we would like to write react DOM.render, which is your app component in document dot get element by id, which is root. We just created that. So this is good. Now we would go to style.css and we would write something in here. So that is like body, background is golden, let's say. And this is the only design we will be writing. In app.js, I would go import React from React, import 𝐿𝐧𝐝𝐿𝐼 from 𝐿𝐧𝐝𝐿𝐼, and function app, which is going to return, let's say, welcome to React as front-end language. So we would close whatever is available by writing it available to the outside world. Now we are done with this, and now you can see we are having that color. Spelling is wrong, so obviously that would be problematic, but element by ID is small. It is. So now you can see it must be done. Now as you can see, everything is available, but we want to make sure it should be the code what we wrote. So this is the CSS, not the CSS. Let me write the index.html. So let me copy whatever was here. And I think we are done creating everything properly. Let me check with input and yes. Now we can open app.js and write whatever we are writing. Right. And as you can see, in this we are having everything. Sorry, we need to open this in VS Code, otherwise it would be very problematic. So just formatting little bit. So it would be returning this. Otherwise, if a function is not going to return, as you can see, the design is not good. No worries, we keep the design from CSS, which is empty, but we have CSS also, right? Currently, there is no design, but if we wrote the design from here, you can see without refreshing this page, it would design it. So we are on server, and as you can see, it's working fine. Now let's say we are not having requirement of HTML. We want to make sure we should be receiving the data. For that, obviously, we need to create the API. So I mean, this is the API system. So here, I mean, the API, right? So that is going to be a backend. This is your React front end. So I would like to open this in VS Code. So let me create the application. So npm init -y. So it will be a package JSON, and it will create app.js and npm install express mysql course. I think that will be good to create it. So in app, and I would create one installation file also, install.js. There I would be writing something. So as of now, const mysql require mysql. Right. I would create a connection, that is mysql.create connection with host, that is localhost, user, which is root, password, which is root. Right. And I would have many queries, like I would create products table first of all. So like create table products, and then create. First of all, I need to run the query, like this query, error data. So if it is good, if it is error, say error in DB, otherwise show DB created. So what is the query? That is the SQL1 query. And what is that query? The SQL1 query is like create database. What is today? It's July 17th, right? And it would create the database. Then I would write another query, which is SQL2. It would run SQL2, and it would say error in table, and it would create the table. So it would create the table July 17th dot products, which is going to be a very big thing. So it would have ID integer, auto increment, primary key, right? The title of the products in a character format, the description of the, right? The old price, the new price, the rating, the discount, the tags, the image, and created at, which is going to be a timestamp, default of current time stamp. Right. So obviously this old price, new price, they are number. So we would be using number, not character. And for tags, it would be default or men category tag. So as of now, so we are done creating the table. Now we need to create SQL3, which is going to be a big amount of. Let us run this first. I mean, node install. Right. So table created, database created. Now we can run whatever we want to run. Like we are having the database now. Database name is July 17, right? And I would like to create a query, which is like multiple statements true. And we would like to create one query, like SQL is empty. For loop, let I equal to 0, I less than 50, I plus plus. So in SQL plus equal to, it would be insert into products, which is ID, values would be null. Right. And it would run this query. Once it's done running the query, it would have error data and it would display if error is there, error, otherwise the data. Now you would see that we have done. So node installed and it's, so you can see we are having 50 items inserted, and now we could write the queries very simply. So it would be like update products, set title equal to concatenate Nike with the ID. Description to be some description of product title. The old price, which is going to be some random number, some old price, which is going to be a less number, a rating, which is not more than 5 star, and a discount not more than 55. So it should be, I'm sorry if it is like this. For tags, it would be like women, where ID is greater than 5, 10, 12, 13, whatever it is going to be. So women, kids, shoes, Nike, Puma, Adidas, right, Lotus, Liberty, other, let's see. So we have 5, 10, 15, we have 20, 23, 27, 33, some random thing I'm writing actually, and 44. So some random thing. So tags we are done with, we need to make sure we are having image also. So image would be img a1.jpg, like 50 images, but this one would be dynamic. So now if we would do this, it would be a very big output. Right, so as you can see, it's done. And now we would try to open MySQL and see by using username root -p. So password is also root. So I would use July 17. And if I would show the tables, you can see there is only one table. And if I would describe the architecture of products, you can see this is the architecture of the products. And if I would select the data from this table, you can see this is the data. What we miss? Okay, we missed new price. Okay, just a moment. I think I need to write one query. So update products, set new equal, old equal to some random price multiplied by some bigger, and lesser price, let's say for. Now we could see select star from products, and it should be good. Image also. Oh, we created description of image. Okay. So I think update products, set title equal to concatenate, that is Nike, and the ID. So description is going to be some description of Nike and of actually the title, I would say. And if we go for the, we should see how many products. So only image is problematic. So we would write concatenate this one, and this is going to be image. So it would be img a1.jpg. So this one would be dynamic. That is ideal. And now we could see, I think, images are also done. So from 1 to 50, there are 50 images. So now we have everything. Now we could see and check and create the API code. So how we are going to create? So constant express, require express, constant MySQL would be required MySQL, constant connection, that is MySQL.create connection, which is going to be an object having host which is localhost, the username, which is root, the password, which is root, and the database, which is July 17. Right, so everything is good. Now we need to create the app, which is express function, the course function, which is going to be required as a package. Because if we don't write it, it won't be able to access other URL. So app is going to utilize this course, and we would have app.get. Like the moment we would hit products, it would have request, response, and this is going to be there. So the SQL would be select star from products. And the moment we would run the query, either it would have error or the data. Right, so it would be like a function. So response.json, if error is there, error. If data is there, data. So we would copy the same thing with text, and we would like to listen it on the port of 5000 and says like console.log server started on port 5000. And the query here is going to be select tags as T, count of tags as C, group by tags. Now we are done creating our server. Let us run it. So I would write node app, and you can see it's working fine. Now if we check localhost 5000, obviously it would be problematic, but the moment you would write products, it's not a problem. We are taking 50 products. You write tags, it's 7 to 8 tags. And every item is having T and C. And the counting are also varying. So we'll be writing that, no problem. In a moment, we would be connecting it. So we are already started the server. So let's say once we are done installing this thing, I think this thing is of no use. So it will be done. And we are already running the server. So this left side should be dynamic. So how we are going to make it? So let's open this just a moment. Just a moment, I close it. So let me open. Sorry for so this is right click. I mean only SRC is of use, so I think we can open SRC only. So we have two URL from where we are going to get the data. So this is like app.js. So the very first URL is URL1, which is http localhost 5000 products. And we have second URL, which is http localhost 5000 tags. And we need to have some state. So let's say products, or let's make it a set a react.useState, which is an empty array. As of now, B is like your tags, which is you would create search, set search, search. Okay, let's use search and set search to be having a value of empty. We would have tag name, we would have the sorting thing, and we would have the order, that is ascending, descending, sorting, that is the order. Right, so this is also good. Now the very first thing is we would like to repeat it from the tags. So tags.map, every item which is going to be this. So as you can see, this is item.p, this is item.c. We are going to receive it. The class name is going to be, if this t is equal to the tag name, it would be active, otherwise won't be active. And on click, we would set it, we would set the tag name, that is this t, and this is b array. So as of now, b array is nothing, so it won't show you anything. So left side is obviously problematic. So we would go to the products area, which is this product item. So it would be a dot map. Every item is to be converted into this. So this is going to be the image value. That is the x dot image. And this is going to be the title, the old price, the new price. The rating would be like little bit difficult. So they would have a style. So if 1 less than equal to the rating, it would be orange color. And if not, it would be silver color. So as you can see, everything is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And discount would be the item dot discount. Tags would be item dot tags. So as of now, nothing is there because we are not getting any data. So let's get the data. So we would like to call use effect, which is going to call the function for the very first time. So what is this function ABC? It's basically a function which is going to call 𝐸𝐳𝐽.get URL1, then whatever data it would set, it would pass to the next, and then it would set A with the data. 𝐸𝐳𝐽.get URL2, then again getting the data, receiving the data, then if the data is used, set B with the data, and it's done. As you can see, left side is done, right side is done. Right. And if we click on this, it's getting highlighted also. Right. But it's not reflecting those products, obviously. It would be taking not much amount of time to do this. So let's get the logic of filters as well. So for filters, it would be some name. So with the class name of, if the column is equal to this string, it would be active, otherwise no active. And the moment we do on click, it would do set sort passing this function. So we need to create this set sort function, and that is what the function means, set sort. It's receiving a string. Let me click an alert so you would know like what we are passing. So if we click on ID, it's ID. If we click on rating, it's rating. If we click on discount, it's discount. So whatever we are clicking, it's getting that word. So that word I want to change to the column by which I want to sort. And along with it, I would like to make the order, whatever the previous order. So that is also good. So if I would click on this, whatever I would click, it would be changing that state. Now search is also left out. Let's go for the search area. So search area is like value is search. And the moment we would type, since it's coming from the state, set search. So it would be event.target.web. And it's also done. I mean, it's able to type, but it's not searching it. But that is something we are able to get. But let's say I want to make sure it should be filtering all the items depending upon this logic. So for that, let's say I'm going to make sure that you understand the logic. So localhost 5000 and the products. So let's say this is your data. Let me open the console and show you. So let's say this is an array, right? So I want to display a array. It is 50 items. I want to get the very first item. I can display. So you can see this is one item of this array. So if I would map every item, right? Only ID, it would show me only ID. If I would do title, it would show me the title. If I would write tags, it would show me the tags. I mean, everything is having all these tags titles. So my logic is the moment I would have A, it should be sorted out with X and Y. So if the order is true, this sorting, otherwise it would be this sorting. So first of all, your sorting is working. So if you do click, you can see the sorting is working fine. And rating also it's sorting. So 0 star to 1 star, 5 star to 1 star. For discount also you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever discount we do that. Right. So that is also good. Right. So let's say I want to make sure it should be filtering on the basis of tags as well. So I could have created another logic, that is array.filter. Return every item whose tags is going to starts with the tag name I'm clicking. And we are done creating that also. So I can click on men, women, kids, shoes, Nike, Adidas. And if you see, the numbers are also similar to what the number of products being displayed. So if I click on the 6, it's exactly 6, not even 1 or 2 less than or greater than. So if I would click, it is sorting only within this scope of this ecosystem. Like the shoes is there, only shoes ecosystem would be taken care of, and it would be sorting out only on the basis of rating, which is selected in the category of shoes only. Now let's say if I would try to type something and obviously it's not searching, so we would like to take care of that as well. So let's say as of now, I would have one more logic, that is array. But this time, what I would do, I would search anywhere. I mean, I don't want to search only in the ID, only in the title, only in the description. I want to search wherever I want to search. I mean, it would be like let's say, we could call it ID, title, description, holding, rating, discount, price, category, email, size, pricing, offer price, discount price, open price. I mean, the vendor, the manufacturer person is like, I mean, the amount of deliverability to a particular address, amount of, I mean, if it is in the stock, I mean, anything we could like to search, we would like to search, it would be working from this logic only. So we would like to return every item which is going to have all the item are objects. So we would take the values, which is going to be an array. To convert that array into string, we will join, and now in string we can search anywhere by calling includes search, and this one is ready. You could search anywhere. You would tell me 375 to search. You could write 375 and you see 375 only got highlighted. And if you remove it, it would show you every product in the very beginning. So everything is working fine, right? So if I would search 982, it would be 982 only. If I remove it, it would get back to this product area only, nothing else. So let's say, I think that was from my side. I would like to create login sign up also. I think that would go beyond the scope of this webinar. So, I mean, I would like to answer anybody who want to ask any questions. So from now on, I'll be taking care of the question and Q&A session, actually, questions and answers. Any informative things you would like to do. So I would welcome, just a moment, hold on for a second. I'll be getting back in a moment. Now let's say, as of now, this is what we created. We would like to do something like a pop-up box should be there. So let's say if I would have logout, I want to create a pop-up. One extra feature I would like to add. So I want to have one extra feature, that is a pop-up, right? And this pop-up I would be importing from some location. Obviously, I need to create that, but we can create pop-up.js, import React from React function pop-up. So whatever you would write in this functional component, it would be returning only that. So as you can see in the very end, you would see pop-up works, right? So we would like to create a pop-up. Let's say this is going to have a div class model. As of now, it's model. If it is true, it would be model active. Right? Otherwise, it would be model. So currently, it's true, obviously. So we would like to have a button name close. So it would have a class name of close, and we would like to say h2 welcome to e-commerce paragraph. Are you sure to log out from website? And then we could have a button for the confirmation, that is confirm and cancel. Right. So there are two buttons. So this button class is, let's say, yes, and this button class is, let's say, no, as of now. So this is obviously very big, so it would be problematic as of now to see. So what we will do, we'll create the design that is model in our CSS. So model would be position fix, top 0, left 0, a width of 100%, a height of 100%, right? A background of RGBA, that is 0, 0, 0, and alpha opacity of 0.7. As you can see, this entire website is like faded out. Now this pop-up would have what we would have a model, let's say, a pop-up. No worries, we'll take care of that later on. /div class name of pop-up. So this is the content of pop-up, and we would like to categorize it somehow. So I think app.js is not required as of now. So pop-up, this is good. So we would write display flex, justify content center, and align item center. So it would show the pop-up in the center area, and in model pop-up, the background is white, so you would know like what we are working on. Padding is 2%. A transition of actually in here it would be 0.5 seconds, right? And what it would have, the button which is in model pop-up class, that is close. So it would be background of red, color of white. So you can see this is red color, but it would be position absolute, where top is 0, right is 0, and it's on the top right of this flag, not this white. So we would like to make it position relative, so it should come in this box only, right? And let us make little bit more padding so it would look little bit nice, right? So I think no, 2% was good. So now what else we could do with the button? Obviously it would be text align center for this entire thing, right? And this anything, sorry, it is, so any pop-up, I mean what we got, it's like the div class confirm area actually, So in this confirmation area, we would like to write it. So this is having basically a confirm area. So which is like having the button that is yes. I mean, not to write that also. The background of, let's say, line. Margin right of 10 pixels. So it's not coming. Model is having yes class, I think, isn't it? Class name of y, and okay, I think this confirm is not required. So pop-up having y, so I think it's not reloading it. So okay, now it's good. So color would be white. And I think it's also not good. So let's make it green. Right, now it's good. For cancel, we could write, I mean, matching the theme, we could write slate blue also. Right, and the no button, which is going to be red. I mean, not exactly red, tomato it's going to be. So both of the color are same. Now it's good. But it should not be visible. So the entire model we created, right? So this entire model we created, it would have transformed scale 0. As you can see, it's gone. And obviously, by default, it's 0. But the moment it would have a model active class, it would be transformed scale 1. As of now, this is 1. So I don't want to make it on the basis of true false. I just want to make it props.open. And the moment we would click on this, on click, it would be props.close. On close, actually, I would call it. So it would have some properties. And in app.js, I would like to open the pop-up with a state that would be like open is open and on close is on close. So we don't have these. I mean, it would be event set open be false. That is good. We don't have open as a state, so it would be open. Right. So open and set open. Right. So as of now, it's true. I just want to make it false, so it should be going down. So by which I would click and it would set that. So it would be a logout button. So on the click of this, I would like to open this pop-up. So like set open. So the moment I would click on this logout, you can see this is open. If I click close on this, it would be good. And if I do anything, it won't be closed. So this is like here, amazing. So I think I'm done from my side. So I would like to request Rohit Pava sir to proceed with this. I mean, that is what from my side. Just a moment. Okay. This website mentioned. Okay, yes, Naveen. So your question is like, what is the difference between WordPress website and HTML CSS website? Look, see the strategy what we are working nowadays with a company. Since if you are a freelancer, right? So if you are a freelancer, you are free to use any of the tools available in the market to create the project for your client, or might be for your relatives, might be for college purpose, or might be for other sort of stuff. So yeah. So I mean, if you are creating a website using WordPress, which is an inbuilt tool, it would take you less time to create the website. But since in that case also, if a company which is go beyond full stack, they would be asking you to convert a design which is already created using Adobe Illustrator or Figma, or might be Zeppelin. So there are lots of tools that would be available to create the UI, and by using WordPress, you cannot create extreme copy of what is provided by the UI team. So that would be problematic in that case. So I mean, if you're creating from HTML, CSS, it is totally customizable in terms of visual appearance as well as in the accessibility. And the number of features, obviously, WordPress would provide you most of the features free of cost, but the moment you would require an optional feature, I mean, a required base feature would be always paid. So in my case, I have seen that. So that is also right. So, and there is another question from Rahul Sharma, that can I use Notepad++ instead of using VS Code? Right, Rahul, I would thank you for questioning this good question. I mean, this is a maximum doubt coming out from a crowd of audience that are new to programming or already they are into programming. Like, if you are writing a code, if it is small, just for practice purpose, it would be good. Notepad++, even for a big development, Notepad++ is very good because that would give you a flexibility how to write, what to write, where to write, and without making any mistake. Because you would be making too much mistakes since the snippets attached to a particular or specific programming won't be available in your system on Notepad++. By using VS Code, there is only one benefit. I mean, there are many benefits apart from debugging and everything else. There are lots of benefit using VS Code. There are lots of extension. If you are typing and you want to share your code at the same moment, you could type and you can share to any other person. That is one of the facility provided in VS Code. You might have lots of Docker or cloud setup, Azure, AWS, or Google Cloud might be. In that case, also it do provide you extension to make your development very faster. In case of changes that you would do generally on versioning tools like Git SVN or Bitbucket, it would be really problematic for you to track how many changes are done on a specific file by multiple persons which are working on the same project within a ecosystem of company. Might be for other projects to be held up by different clients. So in that case, obviously you won't be aware about what is the latest pull you have to take, what are the latest changes that are available on that particular file system. And since if you are reporting for a specific issue within a company, obviously it would be very problematic to commit your changes by the same ID what they have assigned you to resolve the problem with. So, I mean, that is going to be problematic. So, technically speaking, there are n number of benefits, advantages, and disadvantages. But VS Code is free of course from Microsoft. I think it would be a good idea to use VS Code. But if you are not much concerned about your development purpose, if you want to use, you can even use Notepad. I mean, that is also going to be a good option. But well, in the working structure of any programming, if you are working on a big project, obviously it would be a little bit problematic. You would face lots of issues, like you might be getting errors at the time of compilation. So if there is a facility to correct them at the time of typing the code, I think it would be a good option. So I think I resolved your questions. Yes. So any other questions anybody would like to ask? So only two questions. So I would head over to Rohit Pava sir to describe next of the things. I mean that was a great pleasure from Shape My Skills providing me this kind of facility. So
yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That is a awesome webinar from your side. Thank you so much. So guys, your feedback helps us improve our training. So please take a minute to share a comment in box. Okay. Thank you so much. And our next guest lecture tomorrow at 4 p.m. on artificial intelligence. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So I am allowed to leave.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys, and everybody collaborated so well. So thank you very much for your love and response.